Hello. It is Tuesday, a great day, a beautiful day. I am excited about today. Um, God is just so good, and it just feels like every day I realize more and more how blessed I am. First I want to give honor and glory to the Creator for waking me up this morning and giving me another opportunity to be better today than I was yesterday. Um, I woke up in a really good mood. My son woke up in a really good mood and got him off to school, and everything today pretty much has been flowing. I set out a plan to do X, Y, and Z. And so far I've accomplished 3/4 of everything effortlessly, no issues, no problems. And then I know that that's all because of the grace of God. Um, I am just extremely blessed. So much so that I just had to come on and share this little story. Um, when I moved into my last place 3 years ago, probably close to maybe a year going into living there, my son, thank you, whoever's on the live, for being here. My son started having asthma issues. Now, when he was a child, when he was a baby, like 1.5, he was having some breathing issues, and they gave him, all of the stuff, the albuterol, nib treatments, and all that stuff. And then he didn't have any issues for a long time. And then again in winter, he would start having those issues again. And we ended up moving out here to Virginia, and he wasn't having any issues. So I took him off all of those meds. Hey, Monier. Took him off all of those meds. Said, my son doesn't need this. He's fine. No issues whatsoever, right? We lived in 3 different places and no issues. Got to this place here that is in not the best neighborhood, and these townhomes are very, very old. And I got a really good deal on this house, not knowing all of the stuff that I would have to repair, right? So anyways, when wintertime came and I would crank up the heat, the only room that would not push out enough heat and air, whether it be cold or hot, was in my son's room. And I didn't want to move him to the other room because I'm like, no, this one is strategically set. It's perfect for where he's at. He'll just have to deal with it, type of thing, right? And so, make sure that I would turn the heat up enough to where his room got warm, basically, guys. And so, over the last month or so, my son, hey, Greg, had started coughing again. Now, mind you, he has had asthma issues for like the last probably year. It cranked back up, and taking these puffers and stuff at night and before he exercises and stuff like that. Mind you, we don't let that slow us down. We still do what we got to do, right? And so he's been having this cough for the last month, just this bad cough. It just wouldn't go nowhere. I'm like, let me get him his flu shot. Let me make sure, that I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, vacuuming enough, things like that or whatever. But this cough would not go away, right? So I'm giving him Mucinex. Hey, Shek Kawat. Giving him his Mucinex, giving him his Zyrtec for allergies, making sure we're on top of the puffers, all this stuff. Ended up taking him to the ER twice. I don't know if it was black mold, but taking him to the ER, all the stuff, right? And his pulmonologist was like, if he has an issue again, just come back, but just increase his puffers or whatever. I said, okay. So I was increasing his puffers, and one night I just took him to the ER again because I'm just like, something's not right. I mean, it was literally like every 5 seconds. And so I noticed that when I would pick him up from his after school program or wherever, he wouldn't be coughing as much. But as soon as we get in the house, and I'm like, what the hell? So I'm giving him the stuff, giving him the medicine, giving him da-da-da-da. And then one day, he wasn't coughing in the morning. And I was like, okay. I was just like, thank you, Lord. He's healed. We're good. Da-da-da. I turned on the air. It was like clockwork, right? Now, mind you, I'm keeping all of this in my head because I don't want him getting any ideas in his head and then him responding based off of my words, right? So I didn't say anything. And I'm like, he's coughing like crazy. So I turned it off and then I left it off, right? So I left our house cold for 3 days. And my son's like, it's cold in here. So we have those heat discs or whatever. You turn them on and it's a round disc and it illuminates heat, from these lights or whatever. And no coughing. I said, look at God. I said, what is going on? What's in my heating? So I called a heating and air vent place, couple of them. Some of them don't do cleaning, but they do service work. And I was like, no, I think I need my ducts clean. I just need somebody to come out and inspect it. Finally, somebody was able to come out. Mind you, at this time, our house had been cold, down to like 60 degrees for like 3-4 days at this time, but they were able to come out. That guy opened up that machine, whatever that machine is that pushes the heating and vent machine, right? Not the generator outside in the backyard, but the thing that powers it to push the hot air through. He opened up that thing and he said, can I show you something? He goes, now I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you, I've seen worse, but this is pretty bad. Y'all, when he opened that thing up and showed me all of the mold in that heating unit, my heart sank because number one, I knew how much money I was going to have to pay to repair this shit. Number two, to think that all this time I was allowing my son to be poisoned every single day, turning that heater on. And I'm just thinking about his little body and his lungs, and all of the stuff that he endured with that. Because I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever been in a position where you can't breathe properly, it is the most scary thing. You think you're going to die. And he had been dealing with that all that time because of that. And of course, I had to share it with the guy. I said, my son has had this cough for 3 weeks and I turned this air off and all of a sudden he's not coughing anymore. He said, that's why. He said, mold. And then I got frustrated and I vented a little bit to him about just, the service industry and just being sold a house that had all these issues and whatever. But he allowed me to get that off my chest. I said, this ain't towards you. This is just the situation. He said, oh, I understand. And so he said I could either replace the whole vent, which is going to be $12,000, or I can come back. He said, I'm going to clean all of this out. He said, I can clean all this out. And then we're going to go through each vent and we're going to clean it out. And then we're going to put the ultraviolet light that kills mold. He said, that's going to be a lot cheaper. I said, what would you do? He said, well, since I do this is my job and I know what I'm doing. I would just replace. He said, but you go ahead and start out with cleaning. If that doesn't work, then we'll work something out about replacing the whole thing. I said, bet. Call CPS, boy, please. So they came. We were still cold for a couple of days over the holiday weekend too. But guess what? What do black people do when we ain't got no heat, y'all? What do we do? What up, Easy? What do? We turn that oven on, baby. So we had that oven on. I had the little heat disc. I went and I bought a whole nother heat tower that blows out hot air in my room and in his room. And so we made it do what it do until they were able to come. And they came yesterday and those boys came in and they did an amazing job. I tipped both of them afterwards, even though I had already shelled out X amount of dollars. But yeah, it was good. So they did what they had to do. I could smell the bleach. He said, that's not going to last long. Just let it power through. And so I didn't tell my son that they were coming. Damn, so sorry to hear that. Thank you, Easy. Yeah, man, but through it all, this is the whole point. Through all of that, the fact that I was able to figure out what it was that was causing my son cough, me being able to have the money to get it repaired, and the fact that when I brought my son home and I didn't tell him anything, he came in the house, I turned the heat on, no coughing. And I'm going to tell you something else. Last night was the first night that I went to sleep before midnight. I haven't been able to fall asleep before 3 a.m. in probably 9 months to a year. But last night was the first time I fell asleep before midnight. What up, Bakari? And I don't know if it was because there wasn't no mold blowing through the damn vents, or if it was just a sigh of relief, a sense of calmness and peace that God gave me through that situation. What up, Shahul? But I'm going to tell you something else. What's crazy, and this is why I say everything is for the glory of him. When we moved into that place, like I said, my son's vent in his room was the only room that the air wouldn't come through forcefully. That's for a reason. God did that because he knew this is the room that my child is going to be sleeping in. I got to make sure that this mold isn't coming through the vents at a powerful rate like it is in every other room. God did that. It may be a bad thing, but at the end of the day, it turned out to be a good thing. And when those guys came in to clean all the vents out and they disinfected and scrub it and everything with their little scrubber, I told them, I said, my son's room is the only room that doesn't blow, air enough through. What up, GKB? And he said, all right, I'll check it out. He opened up that vent and he said, let me show you these pictures. He showed me a before, and I believe him. I believe because I didn't go and look myself. The other stuff I had to look and see. I was like, you ain't going to be getting one over. I mean, I want to see this machine. I want you to open it up. I want you to show me what I'm looking at. But looking at what I saw, I know all of that was going through these vents. So anyways, he said, let me show you what was in your son's vent. All kind of trash, toys, all kind of stuff. And his vent has been like that since we moved in 3 years ago. So I know it wasn't my son because I used to fuss at him like, hey, you don't want any of those little tchotchkes getting down in there because it'll cause a fire. And then you got to put fear in these kids' minds or whatever, right? So he knows better than to have a bunch of stuff, down there. But it was so much trash. It was all to one side. Just a bunch of trash and it was disgusting. And I said, that wasn't nothing but God. He allowed all of that stuff to stay right there so that when we moved into that place, that mold and stuff wouldn't get through to him and he wouldn't be breathing that shit at night. And I just have to give God all of the glory. Oh my God. And I also have to thank God that I even noticed it, that I took enough time to try to figure out where this is coming from. Right? Oftentimes we're so busy. What up, DMW shots? We're so busy with our day-to-day and our own issue, our own problem that we don't even pay attention to what the hell is happening around us. And I know for a fact that if I wasn't sober, I wouldn't have been able to figure out, hey, my kid stops coughing when I turn the air off. I would have never even realized it because I'd have been too busy trying to get my next drink and be comfortable my damn self. And as long as I'm warm, that's all that matters. But God is so good. To me, that was like 3 miracles in one. 3 miracles in one. I have a dehumidifier that stays actually upstairs. And sometimes it gets so humid and moist in the house. Like after an hour, it's already full. But thanks, Rico, or Hector Rico. Yeah. I need one for downstairs as well. But yeah, it's that moisture, that water in the air that causes that mold. But I have I'm going to continue running it, of course, because you could tell when it's, too much water in the air in your home, it gets muggy and it just feels and smells different, So I run that thing. I haven't had to lately, but yeah, I'll run it for sure. How much did that cost you to do it? $2,100. And that was actually with a discount. I threw everything out there. I'm a single mama. I'm a veteran. I need the black lady discount. He was like, oh, you a veteran? And he took 10% off. And he also said the cleaning in here, he said, that's an extra $600. He said, but guess what? I'm going to do it for you for free. Now, he could have been lying. I don't know. But for some reason, I totally trusted all of the people that came in my house, not totally. I had you got to keep that Nina on you, especially when you're a single woman and you're having servicemen come into your home, you got to. So I had her strapped to me, of course, while they were there and walking through the house and doing everything. But I trust that they did good business. I don't feel like I was gypped out of anything, and that's another thing too. When you feel settled in what it is that you paid for. My son slept well. My son woke up on the right side of the bed today. He had energy. He was no problems, like no coughing. No, I'm just like, really, God, are you really this good to me? Man, I can't even. Yes, thank you, Bakari. Yes, I got some rest. Like, I fell asleep before midnight. Do you guys know how long? I haven't been to sleep before midnight in probably like 4 or 5 years. Not even gonna lie. Not even gonna lie. Crazy. Is it hard to drive a car? If you just starting out, yeah. You know it's hard as a stick though. But once you get it figured out, you go, go, go. I hope your child gets better. Yeah, he's already better. He's already better. So much so that I told my son, listen, we're gonna continue taking these asthma meds, but this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna wean you off because I feel like that mold was the main contributing factor. Because my mother had asthma and my brother has asthma, but they're the only people in our family that had asthma. And me or his father don't have asthma. So I'm like, where is this coming from? So I feel like that was the main factor in it. So I'm going to wean him off and see how he does. I'll probably wait until after the cold is gone and then wean him off and see how that goes. And then get him another lung test, functional, whatever you call it, test to see. I'm good, Divianshu. Why is it so? Because I'm in Virginia and it gets hot and it's humid here. It ain't humid like Florida now, and it ain't like in Houston, I suppose, but it gets very, very humid, and it's just moisture just be in the air, man. So I have to run that humidifier so I don't have to run it like every day, you know. Faith in Yah. Hey, what's going on? I don't do anything for a living. Hey, Lady Di. How's it going? She's saying what's up to everybody. Look at Mike Nice. Yes, hallelujah. Man, I'm so happy, y'all. Y'all just don't know. Like, this is like when you get old, right? Things like this is what makes your day. Being able to provide for your family, that makes your day. Being able to not deduct, but to figure out, deduce what's really going on and be able to solve a problem, that makes your day. It'd be things like that. Just being able to pay. And my electricity bill over the last 3 months, no lie, has been like $85. I know people whose electricity bills be like $500. I'm like, yo, what are y'all doing? But even with me running my heat in AC for the last 3 months, because they don't know what it's going to be, if it's going to be hot or cold one day, my bills have been, I think the highest was like 102. So I am blessed. Those are the type of things right there that I'm just like, I know God loves me. You know, talk about it Tuesday. Yes, it does, sis. We are super women for real. God got us. Yes, he do. And he got everybody that we love. Facts. All the good stuff that happens to us happens to those around us. And I'm just so blessed. And then what happened after that? Oh, I woke up and got on YouTube per usual, which I'm learning to cut back on some, unless I'm on here doing content. But RC Edson, I put him in my community task. I woke up, scrolled my subscriptions, and there's this guy with my books right here as his thumbnail. I said, look at, warm my heart. Like, wow, like this is going to be a good day. Can't complain. Can't even complain. Mike says, or Lady Diana says, my electricity runs $140 a month in the winter. That's not bad at all. And you in Washington State, where it snows and it gets cold. I've been there. That's a blessing, you know. But there is a conspiracy about Black people that rent and our electricity bills being high. I wanted to ask, I was watching somebody's channel that's into all of that. And I do believe, because I know too many people that their electric bill just be too high, and I'd be wondering why that is. And I know people that aren't Black and their electricity bills be low as get out. And I'm like, but you don't even turn your lights off. Us, I can't speak for all of us because some of us do be wasting electricity, but most of us turn them lights off if you're not in that room. And that's what I do with my son. If I come downstairs and I see that the hallway light, the living room light, the dining room light, and the kitchen light, like, why are there 4 lights on, bro? Like, what are you doing? You trying to eat me at a house at home? And so I just threatened him. I said, listen, I'm going into your piggy bank next time, and I'm going to take out a portion to pay on this bill because this don't make no sense. So, of course, you start threatening a person, taking away their little livelihood, their little money, they change their tone. I still have to fuss as much, but not as much. But yeah, I just make sure that I'm cognizant of that, and that helps tremendously. If you're not using it, turn it off. But like I'm saying, I know people who leave every light on just because, even during the day. Like, you got natural sunlight. Why is your bathroom light on? Why is your bedroom light on? That makes no sense. And they bills be low. And I'm like, this don't make, something's not adding up. So I do believe there is a black tax. It has to be. I believe it. Easy says my light bill 60 to 90 and I don't turn heat on, only AC when needed. Yep, that's what's up. I got a homeboy, Reese. He did, we were talking about being cold. This is when I lived in Maryland, and he was saying he keeps his house at I think 68 or 69. I said, bruh. I was like, what you doing? I said, how do you guys stay warm? He said, layer up. I said, even the kids, he said, they back to layer up. He said, beanies and all. I said, in the house? I said, you got your kids walking around with puffer coats in the house? He said, sure do. He said, I ain't paying that bill. And me and him used to live in the same neighborhood. So, oh my gosh, too funny. Glock or Sig? Well, Sig's been having issues. So, Glock all day. Glocks are easier to handle. Faith and Yah. Oh, you in LA? Okay. So you out there close to Donovan. We have to pay every 2 months. Okay. Mine be $375 sometimes for a 2-bedroom apartment. It's wild. And that's just the electricity. And that's what I'm talking about. That ain't right. That don't even make sense. But every 2 months, $375, what's half of that? 180, 375, something like that. But that's a 2-bedroom apartment. Sometimes too, it'd be old electronics like refrigerators and stuff like that. That'd be old. That'd be pulling a lot of electricity. I have seen somebody's electric bill go down when they replaced a refrigerator. So sometimes it'd be things like that. Not everything is a conspiracy. But 180 in a 2-bedroom, if you're working from home, I would say that's about right. If you at home all the time and you're using stuff. But if you're conscious about your lights and your electricity like me, that's still too high, especially if it's just you. Now, if you're sharing your home with somebody and you are home during the day, you work from home, then to me that makes sense. Lady Di says, I use battery ran candles that are on a 6-hour timer and use less lights. Okay. We have about 30 all over the house. Also makes the room pretty. Yep, makes the room pretty. Warms it up. Yeah. I've never heard of a battery ran candle. But even just lighting up candles too. They say that helps to warm up rooms. Mossberg, okay. Easy says, yeah, most ladies will not tolerate 68 degrees in the home. Absolutely not. Especially black ones. We need that. We need that warmth. Okay. I'm not doing it. I got mink blankets that I done bought when I was overseas and everything else that I throw over. I got them fuzzy onesies that you wear. I'll wear that to bed. You know what I'm saying? And something on my feet. Don't play. You're the first female I answered the question out of 20. You asked a question? Or did I answer your question? Ashley Patterson. Where are you from, Ashley Patterson? Stanford Cook says, hello. Hey, how you doing? Lady Di says, we used to pay for 2 months for decades and went to monthly, which now costs more. They try to make it seem as if you're paying less if you do it monthly. But when you add it up, it's probably more. There's a reason for everything why they do things a certain way. There is a reason why. Actually, no SIG handguns, but rifles. I'm not a Glock person, but not my preference. Oh, okay. Oh, you're not a handgun person, Easy? What do you take with you when you riding? BOA Donovan work my yes, of course. He's got to. That's part of his job as a co-host. He got to stir shit up sometimes. But I pay monthly on top of that, like 150, and the bills come at 375 after. Whoa. I live in a mostly black neighborhood where they shot the movie Training Day. Oh, you live over there. Okay. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, just to live is very expensive, guys. And Trump always keeps talking about, the Department of Energy and fracking and how he's going to do some things that's going to help reduce the cost of living. So we're going to see. I'm hopeful, though. I'm very hopeful. Ashley says, SIG all day. Okay. Lock them up, Mo, on Amazon, and I got some from Costco. Oh, okay, the candles. I'm gonna have to look at that. I haven't been to Costco probably in a month or so. I gotta go back. Costco's a trap though, man. I be wanting everything. I'll go in, I'll be like, I'm not getting the basket. I'm just gonna walk around and grab what I need. And if I can't hold it, then I don't need it. So what I do, should be like this, and then I'm dropping stuff because I just can't not have it. So we gonna see. But I just spent $2,100 on mold removal. Do I need to go to Costco for them candles? Can it wait? I think so. But I'm gonna remember that. Turd Plop says, I have an idea. Let's buy the electric company as the country. They couldn't hike it up any further. That would be nice. Hey, your girl. Hey, Clave Clara. Revolver never fails. Keep it simple. I know that's right. TT, hey, how are you? Are you by any chance? I don't know what flag that is, so most likely not. What flag does that belong to? I live in the valley and in a house, $300 a month. You live in the valley, San Fernando Valley, or what valley you live in? $300 a month is a lot. Do you have a family of like 3 or 4? If so, then that would make sense. Easy says, got plenty handguns. I have an HK and a Springfield Hellcats micro and a midsize. I'm gonna let me screenshot that. I want something smaller than my 380. My 380 is fine. And I can move around and it's fine. It's just I want something smaller, but I need the same power. I would like to have a 40 caliber because I know they do damage, but anything that's 40 cal that I've held before was just too heavy. Plus I have wrist issues and I have tennis elbow, so I have pain from here to here. And so I need to be able to just, do what I got to do. So any suggestions of something smaller than a 380 but has the same effect? What up, John? Gang activity. Okay. With all due respect, ma'am, can I? No. No, I like how you put that. With all due respect, can I break your back off, please? Nah, I'm trying to be a good girl, y'all. I want to make it into heaven, y'all. Who else coming with me? Who coming to heaven with me? Now, God knows my heart, but he also knows that we get weak, What did the pastor on Friday say? The Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want. But, we just got to fight that temptation sometimes. Sometimes it don't even be worth it, Even though he said, with all due respect, the fact that he actually asked that on a live lets me know he ain't going to do me right. And look at his name, gang activity. Nobody named gang activity is going to be good for anybody, especially a child of God. Now, you go over there to IG and you find you one of them heifers and you do them dirty and they going to do you dirty and y'all can just go back and forth and y'all can stay in your little toxic mess. But don't bring that over here now. I'm tempted now. Don't email me and send me a picture of what you're working with now. Then we might get talk. Because like I said, the flesh is weak. The flesh is weak. Hellcat Micro 9 is it has got a short barrel. Okay. You have to have a tight grip and a solid push. Okay. Well, my 380, you gotta have a tight grip, not too tight, but it's got two safeties on it, which I love. I just be like, man, Lord, if something were to really pop off, I have to remember that second safety. I have to remember that second safety because I could just see me going, why isn't it going? And then I'm gone. I apologize, little mommy. I'm just trolling. Have a good day. And I'm trolling back. You good, bruh. I like that name though. Faith in Yah says, God knows your heart and our body, sis. It's so hard. It is. Girl, you preaching to the choir. Yes, it's hard. It is hard. It is not easy. Denying yourself what the body wants to do. There's a lot of things that's hard. You know, it's hard to not be prideful. It's hard to not be braggadocious. It's hard. It's hard to not give in. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. It can be done. You just have to hang in there until the next, hour or so. And a lot of times when you just hold off on from doing something, you will have forgotten about it, and the next thing you know, it's been a couple days or a week. And you're like, oh, shoot, I almost text him back. No shade to the revolver community, but you can't bring revolver to a 20 to 30 round fight. I do want something automatic though, y'all. Not even like just something that, a nice little 3 to 5 round burst type thing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy. Microhose 17. Oh, shoot. See, I wouldn't even want to carry nothing like that around. Trying to get in heaven, hard as literal HE double hockey sticks. Yep, 12 years celibate. For me, the days be easy sometimes, but then sometimes, nope. 12 years, faith in Yah? How on earth are you still alive? Look at Skank Hunt. Roses, no, hold on now. Let me read it to myself before I read this out loud. Rosary, I'm just rolling in just to see you. What's up? How are you? Fidel, good show. What's up from Hawaii? Okay, God is good out here too. I know he is. He's good everywhere. Everywhere. No matter where you are. He is still in control. And everything that happens, whether good, bad, ugly, indifferent, is all for the glory of him. I promise you. You just got to stay locked in. You just got to stay tapped in with the Most High, and he will reveal it to you why this happened. Every time. Now I understand why my son's vent was full of trash. Why? Reason for everything. I am a believer. For real. How am I? How are you? Him. He's the one giving you the tenacity to hang in there. I would listen, it'll be 3 years of me being alcohol free. I wouldn't have been able to do this on my own. Me? I'm weak as hell. Ain't no way. That's how powerful he is. Lady Di says, I want a man, but I am scared to death of what might come from me sharing my life again. Men have put me through hell already. But I absolutely love men. I know that's right. I know that's right. You gotta put your walls down, Lady Di. I could tell you have walls just by reading your book. That there's only so much you allow people to know of you. And I think that is wise until you feel comfortable. But you're gonna have to let some of those layers down in order to find the right person. You have all them walls up and a man like you with all them walls, that means he don't really like you and he's only, in it for what he can get out of it, and that's it. You got to be able to be vulnerable and show who you are and not be afraid of getting the response that you're going to get. I like to be transparent very early. That way he can decide if it's something that he can deal with, and it also lets me know how he responds to me. But you have to do it. You just have to. If you want to be in another relationship and you want to be loved and you want somebody to love, you're gonna have to take the walls down. They have to go. Simple as that. Single life be fire. Yes, it do. Absolutely. I ain't never been this productive in my life. Yes, says all praises to the Most High. He really works for us. Yes, indeed. Easy says, sis, I didn't know you had an alcohol issue. I'm glad to see you in. Absolutely. Easy. Boy, I didn't, man. Boy, oh boy. If you only knew. I was a good time. I was a good time. I still am, though. I'm getting back to that. But that has taken me almost 3 years to get back to who I actually am and to be able to see things for what they actually are. But that takes practice and work and dedication and faith and having purpose, you know? But yeah, I was a hot damn mess. I think about all the things that I missed out on being an alcoholic, you know? But like I said earlier, you can't recoup that time. All you could do is learn from it and move forward and make every minute and every hour of the day count. Yeah, exactly. But y'all, I got to get out of here. My son's after school program is shut down and I got to pick him up from school. So I'm stuck with this fella from 3 o'clock on. I'm a Libra. Love is all I know. I was addicted to. Yeah. Yep. Yep. It's easy to get addicted to that. And that was one of the things that I contemplated. I said, okay, well, dang it. Like, if I'm not going to be drinking, then I might as well find somebody to screw all day. Because I'm retired. I ain't got no job. My kids at school all day. Let me see if I can find me somebody that just come through every day to fill that void. That didn't work out. Thank God. And it wasn't because nobody didn't want to, honey. Don't get it twisted. Nobody was qualified. Really? I wasn't qualified. Mm-mm-mm. I think we all have lost time to some degree. Yeah, facts. Have a blessed day, sis, in a week. You too, Faith in y'all. Lady Di says, enjoy your day, everyone. Mo, we need to set up that podcast. Yes, we will. So when I'm done reading the book, I'm gonna email you, and then you get back to me via email as well on the days that you're available, okay? And then we'll set that up. Tuesdays and Thursdays between 12 and 1, I have a meeting that I'm the secretary at that's very important. I can't miss those. But other than that, any other day during the day or at night, if that's convenient for you, you just let me know. Okay. Hey, Selvan from India. Okay. I'm in America. Mike T. You guys all have a great day. I got to go. What's today? Tuesday. Demetra K's channel tonight, 6:05. That's Eastern time for me. 5 o'clock her time. You guys check it out. Demetra K show. She be dropping gems. I don't know what she's gonna talk about tonight. I hope she talk about Hunter Biden and President Biden pardoning his son. I'm trying not to call that man out his name, but we all know he's a. What up, Chicago West? Sounds good. Any day or night works for me. Okay, cool. So yeah, let me finish reading that book and then we'll reconnect. But everybody have a lovely, lovely day. Stay blessed. Just remember that, God is good and that he gave us another chance. You know what I'm saying? If you woke up today, you winning just based on that. All right. Peace out. Yep. Creepy Joe.